Hi, I'm Eric with Tortoise Gear, and in this video I'm going to show you some highly effective techniques for using your Firefly Swiss Army knife accessory. I'm also going to show you some tips and tricks that you can use to make your Firefly work better for your knife. Grass makes a really great tinder for starting fires. The weather around here has been rain, fog, and snow for about 2.5 to 3 months, but this grass is dry. The sun only came out for about 2 hours today, but that was long enough to dry the tops of these grasses to the point where they can start fire. And that's what I'm going to use for this demonstration. Even though we've designed the Firefly to be significantly stronger than regular ferrocerium or fire steel, you still have to use caution because the Firefly is still very thin and small. When striking the Firefly, be sure to always strike on the thin edge and not the thicker side. This is because we use the thickness of the Firefly to fit within the knife handle, and if you scrape on the fat side, it's not going to fit anymore. It's also going to last longer if you strike on the thin side because there's more thickness to go through. One of the most important things you can do while using the Firefly to prevent breakage is to hold it properly. You'll want to support the Firefly about halfway in the middle while you're striking, and pinch the tip of the Firefly with your middle finger and thumb. This creates support along the entire length of the Firefly. This first technique is my favorite because it's the most effective at concentrating the sparks into a specific spot in the tinder. And it encourages a pulling motion instead of a pushing motion, which puts less stress on the Firefly. This next technique is another favorite, and it works basically the same way, but you're not bracing it against the ground. Here's another commonly used method for generating sparks that you can use with the Firefly. With this method, you're using the ground as a brace, so you can put a lot of downward pressure against the Firefly to create big sparks. This last method I want to demonstrate is especially useful if your tinder is really tall and you don't have a place to brace your Firefly. Instead of pushing the knife forward against the Firefly and into the tinder, you'll want to pull back on the Firefly and hold the knife in place. If you happen to have a knife with loose scales, maybe an older beat-up knife, or maybe you've removed the scales to try to modify your knife, and the scales are too loose for the Firefly, this is actually an easy fix. Just take some super glue and put a dab right below the top of the Firefly. After the glue is dry, it will fit snugly without falling out. On the rare occasion you have a knife, particularly a couple of the Evo Grip knives, that don't allow the Firefly to go in all the way, this is also an easy fix. Just measure the amount of Firefly sticking out beyond the knife. In this case, it's about 12 millimeters. Then mark your Firefly at 12 millimeters. Now take a pair of wire cutters and cut right at your mark. There's still plenty of usable length, and now the Firefly will fit in the knife. The scissors on the classic size knives work really well for sparking. but over time, this may dull your scissors. So one tip that I like to do is use the fingernail file as a striker. But from the factory, they're not sharp enough to create a spark. A metal file or bench grinder can be used to gently sharpen the edge of the fingernail file on the knife without causing any major cosmetic damage. Now you can make lots of sparks without the worry of dulling your scissors.